live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody to Viyahta's Tiny House Village. And you might notice I'm not in my village today because I'm at the beach house. I'm at the beach house, my favorite place to be. I love the beach. The negative ions that you get from the beach are just so awesome that you can't help but heal and restore and renew when you walk on the beach, when you enjoy the water, the sun, and all of that. So, welcome to Viyahta's Tiny House Village at the beach. And we have a wonderful, wonderful show for you today. So many revelations came to me this week while I was at the beach, while I was walking at my home in Orlando, and I'm going to share them all with you today. So, let us welcome our global family, though. I want to welcome our global family. And we have this awesome video that introduces you to the female solution, because we are now live in the Blog Talk studio. And I am going to share our awesome video that introduces you to all of our hosts and the languages from our global family. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to join the global family? Let's do it.
Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
So welcome. Let's get started rolling some joints. Yes, we're going to get high this morning. Not this kind, but this kind. We roll joints every Friday morning with you. But I want to encourage you to do it every morning before you get out of bed. And that's what I call our fly motions. Fly. First, love yourself. First, love yourself before you even get out of bed. That just starts your morning with a mental sharpness. I was recently watching a video about why you should make your bed. I showed it to my grandchildren. They got it like every morning now. We don't even have to tell them when they're at my son's house. They make their beds because the message was when you complete that first task of making your bed, your mind is set to complete the next task and the next task and the next task. You just keep it rolling, keep it rolling. We keep it rolling. So that's why we roll joints every Friday morning, to inspire you and encourage you to first love yourself. That's the first task in the morning, is love yourself. Then you can get up and make your bed. But before you get up and make your bed, fly. First love yourself. So it's all about three major reasons, or the purpose of rolling joints. Number one, your circulation will improve, or your circulation will get a boost from all that rest you had not moving for all night long. And then second, your immune system is going to get a boost, because once you get all those organs and the circulation moving, then the immune system kicks in and it starts to work for you for the day. And then last but not least, your lymphatic system is getting a boost when you first love yourself with joint rolling. Your lymphatic system has glands all over your body that are designed by the master creator to drain the toxins, get rid of the toxins. And that's why sometimes your nutritionists or your coaches will recommend jumping on a trampoline, because that motion of going up and down on your toes gets your lymphatic system pumping and going for you. It's all about you first thing in the morning, nobody else. So thank you for joining me, so that together, unity, we're showing unity every day, because we got this insane world we live in. And that's what the music that I'm going to play every Friday, the Sounds of Blackness. I don't own the rights to that music, but they are perfectly in touch with the world events for the last 10 years, maybe more. They sing about the insanity, but they also sing about the solution, love. So we roll our joints to that music today and every Friday. And find your own music that you can put on in the morning to motivate you to get these joints rolling. So I know that's why you're here. If you're here this early in the morning, I know you're here to roll some joints. So let's get busy. All of you in Blog Talk Studio, get on your floor, your bed, or somewhere, and let's roll some joints together. Then we're going to get into our very important topic today, the miracle carnivore diet that is healing a lot of people. I was shocked. So I got to share it with you. And we want to avoid heart attacks and strokes today. I'm going to share an email or a free ebook I got about avoiding heart attacks and strokes. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with all this. I mean, it's helpful, but I'm going to show you some more important ways to avoid heart attack and stroke, because you don't want it to just show up and surprise you all of a sudden. You want to avoid it. It's better to avoid the heart attack, strokes, and all these diseases, because it's a real battle uphill when you don't avoid things. If you don't prevent them, you're going to have a real battle. So all you in Blog Talk Studio, let's get on the floor, on your bed. And I'm on a sofa. I'm going to show you how easy it is. If you had to sleep on the sofa tonight, maybe your wife kicked you out of your bedroom, you can roll joints on the sofa. I'm going to show you how. But first, let's get our music going. The Sounds of Blackness, this beautiful time for healing. And let's do it all together, because we want to drum up, we want to stir up unity in our planet. So when we do things like rolling joints together, we are stirring up unity, power, and healing. So here we go. I'm going to move back. I'm going to be moving my laptop back and forth just to get the right view for you. But let's get the music going. Time for healing. And if you're new to health and well-being, we start out rolling our head around this big heavy head to stretch out our muscles, and we go both directions, and then we go to our shoulders, roll our shoulders around, and we do some swimming in a sea of energy. This everywhere you go is energy. That's what nourishes the body, is the energy, or that's what harms the body. If the energy in your atmosphere, in your environment is not healthy, then it's going to cause you challenges. So that's what we do. And then we get on our back, kick our legs up, roll our ankles and our knees, and I'll show you an alternative. If you're having trouble rolling your ankles and your knees, I'll show you a different, easier way you can do it. And then lastly, we finish off with rolling our leg. We're moving our whole leg around to get the hip joint motivated, energized, and blood circulating in that hip. And then we come back up on and sitting, and we get our vagus nerve stimulated, and we get our arms, our circulation in our arms, our breasts, our chest, and our microbiome area around the navel. So there you go. Let's do it. Let's get busy rolling some joints. All right. Head, chin to chest, and let's roll. Get that head moving. Roll that head around. Woo, feeling it in my back. Take a look around, and let's go the other direction. There's suffering and pain everywhere. Children are dying. All right. Now let's roll these shoulders. Get these shoulders rolling. Turn the music down a little bit. And the dog is barking. We send love to the dog as it barks. The dog is stressed out. There's a stressed dog in the neighborhood. We send love, yes, angels to go and help that dog. All right, we got dog music going. All right, let's roll these shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, inhale. Inhale, inhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's go forward with the shoulders. Loosen up our back. Ooh, and these shoulders that we hold so much tension in. Let's roll them up and down and loosen them up. Roll them up and down and loosen them up. Then let's just one arm forward, one back. Let's swim. Move this energy around. The sea of energy. Sea of energy here. Sea of energy. Sea of energy. Move it. Backstroke, backstroke. Backstroke, backstroke. Backstroke, backstroke. All right. Our upper body is feeling better, loosened up a little bit. Now we're going to get on our backs and kick these legs up a little bit. Kick the legs up and roll those ankles and wrists. You're in bed, you're on the sofa, it doesn't matter, on the floor, just roll, keep rolling. And let's reverse and go the other direction. Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Let's get it going in our body first. All right, let's rub your hands together. Give your knees a little massage and roll. Move the lower leg around. All around the world. We're going all around the world today. Open up your heart. And let's go the other direction. And breathe. Don't forget breathe in. Inhale. Inhale. Now, if you have trouble rolling your ankles and your lower legs, just point and flex. Point and flex. point and flex. Bend and flex. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Point and flex your toes, your feet. And bend your knees and straighten your legs. Bend and straighten. That's what we do if you have trouble rolling. All right, you can feel a little stinging by now because you're really energizing your body. Now let's get on our side and roll that leg around. Move that leg around from the hip. The world is filled with hate. Love. We're practicing love right now. And let's go the other direction. Deep down inside. Healing. We got to have healing. All right, let's flip over to the other side and get that other leg and that other hip moving. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Getting high on this new day, February 23rd. We're rolling in a 6 today. And let's reverse that. Rolling, rolling. Rolling, open up your heart. Let's do it, let's do it. Let's do it, let's do it. Now, if you have trouble rolling that whole leg, then just do this. Lift the leg up and down. Lift each leg up and down. That's all you have to do to get the hip energy moving. You don't want any stagnant energy in your body. You want to keep it moving. A body in motion. What do they say about a body in motion? Stays in motion. No death here, no death here. All right, let's bring the knees to the chest. Hold those knees up, your knees up. Rock side to side. Give your spinal cord a little massage. And then rock to one side and push up. And we did it. We did it. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. We rolled. We got high. Rolling joints. Yay, we did it. Now let's just finish off with some vagus nerve stimulation. Let me see. I can bring this a little closer. Vagus nerve stimulation. Rub those hands together. Rub the hands together. Get some heat. Stir up some heat. And then place those hands at the back of the neck. Squeeze and release. Inhale, squeeze and release. Inhale, squeeze and release. Inhale, squeeze, release. Oh, whoa, what a relief. That feels so good. Healing going on here. Love in the body. Healing. Squeeze and release. Now just squeeze around the shoulders. Let the hands slide down on the shoulders. Breathe in. Get that energy moving with the breath. The breath is the most important tool to reduce stress in the body. Breathe in. Whew. Now let's just pat down the arms, especially under the arm. If you have a puff here, that means your lymphatic system is clogged. So you want to have a pit. You don't want to have a puff. You want to have a pit. So give it some love. Pat it down, both sides. Pat down the arms. Puff, no puff, but a pit. We want a pit. Thymus gland right here. This is your immune system booster. Thymus gland. Read about the thymus gland. It's amazing body. And then make sure you give the breasts a soft, gentle squeeze. Let them know how much you love them. Love the boobies. And then go to your navel, around your navel, and just pat. Love on those microbiome. That's your army down there. Your army is going to protect you no matter what comes or goes, whether the power goes out or phone sales aren't working. Just make sure your army is working down there in your around your navel. And then don't forget behind you here, let me give you a bird. This part, your kidneys and your adrenal glands. Just squeeze, rub, give them a little massage. Kidneys and adrenal gland. Love, 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 love. All right. We have boosted the body. Now we're going to sit for a while. I hope you're going to sit with me. And you are my guest today because what this topic is a little controversial. I know, especially all those vegetarians out there, they're going to get a little irritated when I bring up a miracle carnivore diet. Yes, yes, yes. But it's helping a lot of people. And we're going to talk about that as well as avoiding heart attacks or strokes. Now, the heart attacks and strokes, we're going to cover that first because it's going to lead into the carnivore diet because some people have had the idea that eating a lot of meat could cause a heart attack. We're going to kill that idea totally. Just not happening. I'm telling you, 6 years on a carnivore diet and people are saying I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. Like, what's going on there? So I had to do a lot of investigation. But I did get an email. I got an email from Jonathan Landsman. I want to share with you. No, we don't want to do that. I want to share with you an email I got from Jonathan Landsman, who is a health promoter. You know, he promotes health. Let's see if I can pull it up here somewhere. Okay, I don't know. Outlook. Okay. So this email I read, it's actually the introduction to a webinar that he's doing. So I read this email, I read this email and I thought, well, this is good, but it's not good enough because knowledge is increasing. How many of you believe that knowledge is increasing? And we have so much more information than what this class or this ebook puts out. It's actually an ebook. So I'm going to be sharing with you an ebook. So and it's titled Key Nutrients to Avoid a Heart Attack or Stroke. Now, nutrients, that means they're focusing on supplements, mainly herbs and so forth. So let me share this with you because this is the beginning of our knowledge increasing. And then I'm going to show you more about key nutrients, not on the third dimension, but more on a spiritual fourth dimension. That's where I usually go. You know, that's why I have soul purpose healing that takes us to the metaphysical level and beyond. So let me just share. I want to share this with you. And then if there are anyone who I'll read your comments and your calls after I share this, because I want you to just see what people put out sometimes that's not necessarily the complete picture. I'm going to go over this with you real quickly. And then we'll have questions. If you have questions or comments, I welcome the questions or the comments. So here we have key nutrients to avoid a heart attack. And I want to know if some of you are practicing or have been using these nutrients, because this is a start. It's a basic start to avoid a heart attack or stroke. So here's the ebook that was free. If you're interested in getting this free ebook, I can put that in the chat actually, and we can go from there. But let me just go over this with the key nutrients to avoid a stroke or heart attack. Okay. Introduction. There's Jonathan Landsman. I've been following this guy for probably 20 or more years. He's very informative, educated, millions of people worldwide, talks mostly about healthy, organic diet, consuming high quality nutritional supplements. And yet I read this and I thought, well, he's not keeping up to date with things, I don't think. Because what he brings out in this ebook is okay, but it's not the best. I'm going to give you the best information to avoid a heart attack. Now, Western medicine fails to address the root cause of heart attacks and strokes. He starts out with a very true statement because he wants to get to the root cause, and he's going to get to some of the root causes, but not all of them. So we're going to get into more of that. And he goes very informative. So the first nutrient, he says omega-3 fatty acids. Now that's your fishes, flaxseed, nuts, believed to improve heart health, lower heart attack risk by causing reductions in triglycerides, fats in the blood. Great advice. If you can, eat more fish, basically. I don't go along with buying supplements of fatty omega-3 fats. I did that for a while. It's a lot of money. It's a big investment to be buying omega-3 supplements every month. So if you have a budget, this is for you. If you have a budget, just eat more fish and flax seeds. I put flax seeds in my smoothies every day, practically every day. Grind up, you can buy bulk flax seeds. You can buy the whole flax seeds online. You can get flax seeds everywhere. And then the best thing to do is either soak them, which makes the water thicker, or just grind the flax seeds, throw them in your smoothie, and you're getting fatty acids, okay? The next one, then here's lots of examples of fatty acids. Omega-3. You want omega-3 versus omega-6 is what they put in everything, which is harmful. The sunflower oil, safflower oil, especially canola oil. XXXX. All those processed oils are turning out to be very harmful to the body. So omega-3, fish, nuts, seeds. Omega-6, stay away from the sunflower oil and the safflower oil, and especially the canola oil. Okay, next one, B complex vitamins. He says they reduce the levels of inflammatory homocysteine. So this is another good advice to strengthen your heart. You can get B complex vitamins in your food, and as I'll tell you later, you can get it even from nature, because when you are stress-free, you produce the B vitamins in your atmosphere, in your breathing. And here's some dietary sources he says include spinach, beets, wheat germ, avocados, and beets. Now, avocados are a regular in my diet. I sprouted like 6 avocado seeds. It took about 2 weeks for the seed to actually open up, but I'm going to put that seed in a pot and some soil and see if I can get me a tree, because I just spend too much money on avocados. But spinach, beets, wheat germ, avocado, he said, good source of B vitamins. Next, K2, vitamin K2. Now, this is something they try and give babies when they're born, but K2, you can get that in a supplement, or he says, unfortunately, the standard American diet is lacking in vitamin K2. But if you increase your intake of, guess what? Grass-fed beef liver, cage-free egg yolks, and organic cheeses, you'll get enough K2. The very best dietary source of K2 is a fermented Japanese dish called natto. So if you're ever in Japan, or if you want to go to the grocery store, they probably can find it at Whole Foods or a good health food store. Natto, Japanese, or just get the grass-fed beef liver and eggs, and more eggs. Fantastic flavonoid. Curcumin is the next nutrient he advises to take. That is what most of us, turmeric. I make a popcorn with turmeric on it and lots of other good things, and my friends tell me I need to market this popcorn. So I'm thinking about it. Because when curcumin is listed as a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, you want to have turmeric in your diet. Our Monday morning host talks about her smoothie that she made to overcome diabetes. And what's in there? Turmeric. Turmeric is everywhere. Get some turmeric. There it is, beautiful orange color. Usually see it in Indian recipes and Indian restaurants. So the next nutrient he recommends, eat the rainbow, carotenoids, anthocyanins, fruits, vegetables, protect the heart. There they are. Look at that beautiful rainbow. Get more rainbow food, he says. Get more rainbow food. And then mighty mineral magnesium is another nutrient he recommends. Magnesium is in your dark green vegetables, leafy, dark green leafy vegetables. Get more of those. There they are. Kale, uh, red chard, green chard, yellow chard. Any you can increase dietary magnesium with green leafy vegetables. Pumpkin seeds, okay, that's for, especially for you men out there who want to improve your prostate. Get some more pumpkin seeds. Yogurt, almonds, dark chocolate, my favorite variety, and black beans. All of those can increase. Now, here's one that I'm not very familiar with, bitter bergamot. Not bergamot like the essential oil, but bitter bergamot has sweet cardiovascular benefit. There's the fruit. If you can find some bergamot, let me know. I never seen it, and I asked a friend, never seen it. So that's one that he claims works so well, in fact, that scientists are examining the possibility that its use could replace statin drugs for some patients. So there you are. So it says, do you know the symptoms of impending heart attack and stroke? This is how he ends his ebook. Western medicine points to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, smoking as primarily risk factors for heart disease, in addition to knowing which behaviors and conditions. We're going to go over that more after the break. But that's something that traditional medicine always says, know if you're going to have, these are the symptoms if you're going to have a stroke or heart attack. So we could be aware. I like preventing them in the first place. I'm working on preventing them in the first place. And I'm going to show you how, beyond the supplements and the food, how to prevent. Now, natural techniques can cut risk of life-threatening cardiovascular events, maintaining a healthy weight, partnering with your trusted integrative doctor to manage blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, getting sufficient exercise with health authorities, swimming, biking, dancing, jogging. How about early morning joint rolling? There you go. There's your exercise. And then he ends this, the last two sentences, which is what really bothered me. Of the ebook, the most important aspect of avoiding stroke and heart attack, he puts in the last two paragraphs. He says, finally, don't forget about natural means of managing stress, such as biofeedback, guided meditation, yoga, and acupuncture. CDC someone has a heart attack or stroke every 40 seconds in the United States. But by enlisting the natural nutrients and techniques mentioned above, you may very well be a fight back. Okay, so there you have it. A beautiful ebook gives you some tips on how to avoid stroke and heart attack. So what did you think of that? I'd love to hear from you. Are any of you practicing that now? Are you actually doing those things? Stress is the number one cause of all diseases. I would say 99% of diseases that the CDC and the government medical system loves to treat. That's why it's a sick care system. It's not a health care system. It's a sick care system that promotes information like we just read, but it doesn't really promote prevention. So we're in the blog, we're on Facebook today. Thank you. Universal Energy, because we had a lot of problems this week with AT&T phone service and all kinds of services going down. And here we are, Blog Talk's running up good. Facebook's going good. And we've got our Monday morning host, Zelda Higher Learning Network in the Facebook studio. Grand Rising Joint Rolling Queen, rolling right along with you. Yes. My sister, Monday Morning Mindfulness sister, is always rolling because she is a teacher as well for breath work and all kinds of good things. Great workout today. Yes. Thank you, Zelda, my sister from another mother. And then, hello, just a minute.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to play a commercial. I'll be right with you. Somebody's at the door. So I'm going to play a commercial while I go to the door and And then we're going to come back and talk about preventing health disease because, let's see. Uh, okay, we'll be right there with you. I have to find my commercial. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play a commercial and then we'll come right back after the commercial. Toxins. Okay, here we go.
Have you ever wondered why some of the healthiest people still get sick? Or why the occurrence of learning disabilities like ADHD have drastically increased over the last 50 years? How is it that the cancer rate has gone from 1 in 8,000 back in the 1910s to 1 in 2 today? Isn't it odd that even though we are more focused on health than ever before, that there's still been an increase in diseases, disorders, illnesses, and other conditions that destroy your quality of life? What if we told you that the very things you're using in your home to avoid these health concerns are actually what's causing them? If you're the decision maker in your home, you know how overwhelming it can be to keep your family safe. Today, we'd like to welcome you and simply provide you with some important information and shed some light on some health concerns you may not be aware of. Over the last 100 years, thousands of toxic chemicals have been introduced into society because of an excessive overstock of chemicals designed for warfare in the Second World War. Today, as the 2013 documentary The Human Experiment states, quote, 42 billion pounds of toxic chemicals enter into commerce every day. That amount would fill up 623,000 tanker trucks. And as we speak, there are over 80,000 such chemicals on the market in the US. Over the last half century, chemical usage has gone up by 2,000%. And it isn't until there are enough people hurt by these products that there are even questions raised. Does this sound familiar? On July 12, 2018, the well-known grocery store brand of talcum and baby powder company, Johnson & Johnson, was ordered to pay a $4.6 billion lawsuit. As it was said, they knowingly covered up asbestos in their product for over 40 years, and we have been trustingly using it on ourselves and our most precious of all things, our newborn babies. As parents, we work hard to keep our families safe and healthy. We diligently try to choose the best brands at the grocery store for our families. After all, keeping a clean home is an important part of good health. But is it possible that cleaning your home is dangerous? 7.3 million American couples have trouble conceiving or carrying a pregnancy to term. This is a 49% increase since 1988. Recent studies have shown that babies that do make it to term are being born pre-polluted, with up to 28 harmful chemicals in their blood, with indicators that over 400 more were present, all without ever eating food, drinking water, or even breathing air yet. It just doesn't make any sense. Studies showed that in 1999, 1 in 500 kids had autism. Today, it's 1 in 59.
So those are some of the stresses that we deal with every day. Our environment in our home, our environment outside our home, and it's affecting our children with autism and so much more. So when I say stress is the number one cause of diseases like strokes and heart disease, that's the reality. And that video really points out how our environment is so polluted because of all the chemicals. So I've put in the Facebook and YouTube chat, Melaleuca.com is the company that I have partnered with after many, many years of not partnering with anybody but me and the regular health food store and Amazon and Whole Foods. I'm reducing that partnership because I don't make any money from partnering with Amazon and I don't make any from Whole Foods, surely, and the prices are all going up. But with Melaleuca.com, I invite you to go to that website and look at all the great products. I, for one, am excited about the essential oils that they offer at a discount when you join. And at before the end of March, you can join for only $1 and get all these products shipping free. So go to Melaleuca.com, check it out, and then send me an email if you're interested in joining my buying club. Because with my buying club, we communicate with one another about what are the best products. We've tried this, we've tried that, and we recommend products to you. So now we're here today, and I want to go to the phones. I believe, let's see, we had someone who raised their hand. So let me open the mic for 334-272. Your mic is open.
Well, praise God, Mother God, and Father God. Assalamu alaikum, and good morning, Grand Rising, Viyahta.
Grand
And I'm
Rising.
listening audience.
Grand Rising. Who we have the pleasure of hearing today?
Can you guess? Let me see what your spirit says.
I know the name. The name is on the tip of my tongue.
I'm finna roll one.
Okay, go ahead.
And you still can't figure out who it is.
I know who it is,
Genesis,
but
in the Bible, it would be Genesis, the beginning, the first book of the Bible, chapter 1, verse 29 through 32. And God said, in quotation marks, I will give you every herb on the face of the earth to yield seed. Every tree whose fruit yields seed, for you it shall be food. Every bird in the air and every creeper and living thing on earth, I have given every green thing and every herb, for them it shall be food. That's the beginning of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 29 through 32.
All right now.
Since you're going to talk about meat this morning, and this diet, this carnivore diet, which I don't have nothing against meat. I grew up on it. On 55th and Lafayette, we had an upright freezer, and we would buy cows. My mother and my uncle would buy the cows by either the whole or the half and have it butchered up. So all we had to do was go in there and grab whatever we wanted to grab and throw it in the broiler.
Okay.
I used to love putting them steaks in the broiler. And let them. I like to cook. I like my steak or my prime rib smoked. And I like it with like the burnt ends. I don't want no red, no blood. I even like the fat to get crispy and burn, because they say you chew the fat. They say it's vitamins in that fat. But I ain't never like to chew the fat.
Okay, so
but,
I think
it's kind of tasty.
Admiral. Is it Admiral?
The only thing I really like off the cow is the brisket.
Okay, is it Admiral? I'm trying to. Can you give us your name? Because I'm not remembering your name again.
You still hadn't figured it out. Well,
no.
Let me tell you. You know who the Shy Apostle is? The Chi-Town Apostle?
No.
I'm shy like shy. You know who Brother Neil is?
Oh, Brother Neil. Thank you, Brother Neil. There you are. There you are. I knew it was you. Well, listen.
Child of God, just a humble servant of God.
And thank you for giving
if
us.
You knew it was me. Why you didn't say my name then?
Brother Neil, today we're gonna give you the purpose of a carnivore only diet. I appreciate your testimony, because most of us.
You knew it was me. Why you didn't say my name if you knew it was me, Viyahta?
I know.
Avoid the question.
I know you,
Sister Viyahta.
I know your voice, Brother Neil. I may not remember the name, but
why you ain't say my name then?
I didn't remember your name. So let's move on. Come on, let's move on. We got people who are listening for wisdom about the carnivore diet. I'm gonna share with you.
I'm listening. I'm all ears.
We're gonna share with you why carnivore only. We're not talking about meat and potatoes and green beans and all that. That's not what's healing people. What's healing people is eliminating all the carbohydrates and focusing on ketones. If you understand what ketones are, that's what animal protein produces. So I'm gonna close your mic for now, and I'll open it back up if you want to comment. But I want to play this first audio that educates all of us. A doctor's point of view. This is a medical doctor who shares why he thinks the carnivore diet is beneficial. I mean, it'll surprise you, because we haven't thought, most of us who have been vegetarians. I'm not full vegetarian. I love fish and tuna and I love sardines. So it'll surprise you maybe to understand the science and the behind the carnivore only and leaving out the carbs, why it's healing. So I'm going to share with you a doctor's point of view first, and then I'm going to, as we go today, I want to share with you the people who have been on this diet, why they are saying it is so good for them and why they continued for a long period of time. And I got to find, let's see, the doctor and why that didn't come up. Breaking down carnivore diet recipes, 8-5 corner diet. True. Okay. Okay. So this doctor got Dr. Ken Berry. He's going to explain. It's called the 7 True Dangers of Carnivore Diet, but he puts a question mark on it. And that's where you get some real understanding about why people are healed on this diet. I mean, lupus, high blood pressure, weight. I see the biggest benefit that people get on this diet is building muscle and losing weight. So that to me is telling you, if you have a need to lose weight and build muscle, maybe you should give this a try. So let's listen to, it's about 9 minutes, and then we'll come back and see if you have any questions. And of course, share your experience with eating meat. All of us, I'm sure, grew up eating bacon and bologna sandwiches and all of that. But today, we can gain wisdom and understanding on why this type of diet, and again, doesn't have to be your lifestyle forever, but I look at it as something that is therapeutic and like medicine. That's how I see this. It's like medicine. So let's listen to what a medical doctor says about this diet first and foremost.
If you've been eating a carnivore diet or thinking of starting one, then some negative feedback, either in the form of a doctor or a friend saying, "Oh, don't do that. That'll kill you," or you found some websites or some articles saying some of the following things I'm going to tell you about. I've really come across 7 dangers, and I put dangers in quotation marks because carnivore is not really dangerous, but I want to help you be able to answer these common worries and defend yourself, and also feel safe in your heart of hearts that eating a carnivore diet is not really dangerous and it's not really going to kill you. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 7 dangers that you'll hear about of a carnivore diet and why it's safe to ignore these dangers and this advice. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical experience and over a year and a half of carnivore diet experience. And I'm going to help you understand this. Now, danger number 1 is that there's no vitamin C in meat, and you'll develop scurvy. Your teeth will fall out, your skin will fall off, etc. This is first and foremost not true. It looks like people on a carnivore diet don't need as much vitamin C as people eating a high-carb diet. So if you're still eating the standard American diet, I would encourage you to get lots of vitamin C, maybe even take a supplement. There are people on the carnivore diet, and indeed prior successful cultures that for thousands of years didn't have a source of vitamin C in their diet, and they did just fine. I know many carnivores in the carnivore community who have been eating this way for over a decade, and they don't take vitamin C supplement. They know that there is a small amount of vitamin C in fresh meat. Yeah, that's true. You can look it up. And then also in organ meats like liver, there's quite a bit of vitamin C, more than enough vitamin C to keep you from ever developing scurvy or any other disastrous complication of not having enough vitamin C. If you just can't bring yourself to eat organ meat at all, then I recommend a temporary supplement like Ancestral Supplements freeze-dried liver capsules. I've got a link down in the show notes below. But I encourage you to continue to try to learn to like liver. My wife, Nisha, and I, we talk about liver recipes all the time that are delicious and that'll help you enjoy liver. but you're not going to develop a vitamin C deficiency. After a year of being a carnivore, I actually checked my vitamin C level, and with no supplementation, no vegetables whatsoever, my vitamin C level was still right in the middle of normal. So however that happened, it happened, and it happens for thousands and thousands of other carnivores. Don't worry about vitamin C. Number two is you're not going to get any fiber in a carnivore diet. Therefore, you're going to develop severe constipation, or you'll develop colon cancer because you need fiber to scrub out your colon on a daily basis so you can have ginormous poops. Well, the problem is that the research proving that fiber prevents colon cancer is severely lacking. It's almost laughable. And I know thousands of carnivores who eat zero fiber in their diet, and they poop like champions. They have no problem with their bowel movements, and neither will you. Danger number three is that, you'll mess up your gut microbiome. You just won't have the cornucopia of bacteria in your gut because you're eating this very restrictive diet. You're not eating the rainbow. Here's the problem with that. I and many other carnivores have actually sent off poop samples to have our microbiome tested. And what we found is that we had more biodiversity in our gut microbiome than the average person eating a plant-based diet. So for whatever reason, my gut bacteria and the gut bacteria of tens of thousands of other carnivores love the carnivore diet, and we tend to have very diverse microbiomes. So you can mark that one off the list. Danger number four is that you'll eat too much salt and you'll have high blood pressure or a heart attack. Well, so here's the weakness in that argument. Yes, carnivores get to eat as much salt as they want. They get to taste salt all their tasty meat so that it tastes perfect. And they don't worry about this. Now, when you check the average carnivore's blood pressure and you compare it to an equal person eating a plant-based diet, the carnivore diet person's blood pressure is always lower, even though they're eating what most people would consider a high-salt diet. Carnivores, many of them went carnivore so that they could get off their blood pressure medication. And indeed, they were able to, or at least decrease the dosage a significant amount, because your blood pressure gets better on a high-salt carnivore diet. A good friend of mine, Dr. James D. Nicolantonio, has an excellent book called The Salt Fix. I'll put a link down in the show notes. If you're afraid of salt currently, then you need to go low carb and eat more salt and read Dr. D's book. The next big danger is that you'll eat too much saturated fat, and this will cause you to have a heart attack. Again, this is they really do care about you, but they're just wrong. The entire saturated fat heart disease hypothesis is being shot down on a daily basis. More and more doctors and other healthcare providers are waking up to the fact that saturated fat doesn't have any meaningful negative effect on your heart health whatsoever. Eating saturated fat does not clog your arteries. None of that stuff is true. It may or may not raise your cholesterol, but even more and more research done by my good friends Dave Feldman and Dr. David Diamond, they're showing on a daily basis that eating healthy saturated fats in no way increases your risk of heart disease, cancer, or of dying early. People who eat lots of saturated fat typically tend to live a long time. So don't be afraid of fat. It's good for you, not bad for you. The next danger is that you'll develop some kind of phytochemical deficiency because you have to have the magical phytochemicals that are found in plants. So the argument against that would be, although they're well-meaning in saying that, they really believe that, there have been multiple successful cultures in the past that have been recorded by researchers like Weston Price and others who ate only meat in their diet. They didn't have any source of magical plant phytochemicals, and they did just fine. They had squeaky clean arteries, they had beautiful teeth, and they didn't seem to suffer in any meaningful way. I used to believe this. I used to believe that there were magical phytochemicals in plants that we didn't even understand, hadn't even discovered yet. But you had to eat lots of leafy green and colorful plants in order to get these magical, mystical phytochemicals. I no longer believe this. I have friends in the carnivore community who have not touched a plant food in over 10 years. They look great, they feel great, both mentally and physically. They're way above average. So I think this is a myth that we can start to ignore. And then the seventh danger is that if you eat a lot of processed meat in your carnivore diet, that you're going to be getting too much nitrites and nitrates, and this is going to lead to cancer. The World Health Organization said this, and therefore it must be true. I've got a couple of other videos on this channel about the nitrite myth and how you can safely ignore that. The research that proved, quote unquote, that nitrates and nitrites are bad for you and will cause cancer it's just laughable research. It's not meaningful in any way. And actually researchers now are using nitrites. They're trying to use that and get an FDA approved medication to treat high blood pressure with it, because they actually help lower blood pressure. Once you look at my other video on this channel about eating bacon and processed meats and the nitrates and nitrates they contain, you'll see that this is foolishness and you can safely ignore that. So stop worrying about all 7 of these wink, wink dangers and eat your meat. A carnivore diet is part of the proper human diet spectrum that human beings can eat on and realize their optimal physical and mental health. If you enjoyed this video and you breathe the slide.
All right. That's a lot of myths being destroyed there. And we want to talk about all that today, because what I'm seeing, and I have several testimonies I want to share with you. We might not get to all of them, about people who have actually been on this carnivore only diet. And we're talking about meats of all kinds, butter and fat, fatty meats, butter. Avocados can even be added, but they don't recommend that for everybody. But why is this so helpful? Meat only, what's wrong with us? We're supposed to be going to plant only, vegetarian. No, not for everybody. Because here's the thing. The human biological system works best with nothing in it, period. My friend Elitam Elamine is all the way over in Uganda right now. He sends videos out every day. He's in Uganda. He doesn't eat food. He doesn't drink water. He just travels around Africa right now. He's in perfect health right now. He's been for many years because he doesn't eat anything. Now, if we go further along the spectrum of food and eating, adding carnivore, let's just add meat. Don't add all the potatoes and all the other stuff, the processed food that interferes with the digestion. That meat gets digested perfectly because that's all you're eating. You're not adding processed oils, processed bread, processed cereal, all the things we grew up as Brother Nathaniel or Brother Neil said. We were destroying our bodies. And then what were we told? Oh, we can't eat too much fat. Let's do margarine. Margarine's better for you. And that turned out to be a lie, because people got heart problems from eating margarine. And don't want too much meat. Let's eat all these sugary cereals and milk in the morning. I get all your sugar and what else? I don't know. Milk. Vitamin D from the milk and all that. This doctor has just destroyed all the lies that we have heard from birth on and from childhood. If you think about also the Native American experience in this country hundreds of years ago, what was their main sustenance that they consumed and cut and used in every way was the bison or the buffalo. The buffalo many times was the only source of nutrition for our Native American brothers and sisters, ancestors. Buffalo, bison. They used that by every piece. That bison was considered a sacrifice for the people, because that bison gave its skin for teepees, gave its skin for clothing, for shoes, moccasins, gave its meat for food. And our Native American brothers and sisters were doing just fine until the Europeans came along and offered smallpox and all the other ungreat things for our ancestors. So we're wising up today. And this miracle carnivore diet is really not a miracle, only in the sense that if you can stop eating all the other processed garbage that we are presented in the grocery store, that's a miracle in itself. Because what the truth of the scriptures, brother Neil, the scriptures tell us discipline is life. Let's take that one to the bank. The discipline is life. What does that mean? Discipline, that means you can stop eating all the crap that the government and the grocery stores and the non-food system offers. You have lots of discipline when you can eat only meat in your diet. How about that? Or when you go on a fast, for instance, that's discipline. When you stop consuming all the products and the chemicals, that's discipline. So I'm going to open up the mic before we go to the break. I see we have a caller here. And I don't want to leave callers because you're part of the show today. You're the guest. 312.
Admiral Nelson Bay.
Admiral Nelson Bay. Good morning. How are you? Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Thank you very much for discussing this particular issue. My particular thought is Islamism is my religion. Am I a Muslim? I would just say, do I eat pork? Do I consume pork? I can certainly do without pork. But I remember when I was watching this show on some Jewish people who were victims of the Nazi Holocaust, and they had escaped, and they came upon this truck that had some sugar and some ham in it. And they were starving, and they ate the ham and the sugar. You see, there's this Jewish fellow who I met on the bus a couple of days ago at Howard Street. We were at the Second Baptist Church in Evanston for their food pantry, which I attend twice a week, and get a plate. And the situation is, he's of Czech background. His name is David Kral, Kral, which means king. And I learned so much just by listening to what this man was saying to me on the bus. And it prompted me to go to State and Madison at Target and buy $43 worth of the best sirloin steak. And I haven't eaten beef for many weeks, but I can, consume steak. I can consume a pork chop from Pearl's Restaurant in Bronzeville because, and I regard it as halal meat in this particular instance. And when I was in Denver, Colorado with Your Majesty, the Giant Millennium Queen Elohim, self-styled Empress of Heaven and Earth and the Holy Spirit, flesh, blood, and bone, we went to a Wendy's store. We were living out of her 2 black Lincoln Town Car Stretch limousines. And we were running out of money. And I was like, they have a burger with some bacon bits on it. And she was like, Nelson Bay, you can't bring that to my car because it's like she's totally averse to anything from the pig. And for some Muslims, and I'm averse to, I regard any entrails of an animal as unkosher or non-halal meat, including these capsules of liver. I would not consume that under any circumstances. But that's just me. And I understand human physiology, and I was listening to Mother Tainada Muhammad, wife of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, over the past several days. And gosh, did I ever learn so very much by listening to Mother Tainada Muhammad. And it just verifies all the more the efficacy of German New Medicine, that it has to do with what you have in your brain, what you have in your mind, the whole energy of how individuals and other sentient beings A human being is a sentient being. Any animal is a sentient being. And just the whole dynamic of how it all affects you holistically in every department of your life.
Yes, thank you.
And so when a person is holistically healthy, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, mental health is health.
Yes.
That
yes.
is the motto of this hospital that I saw on the advertisement on the bus at Howard Street a couple of days ago.
So, Admiral Bay,
I've
got another caller and I need to go to a break, but you bring out some excellent points because it's a holistic lifestyle that we need to promote: body, mind, and spirit. And the brain, like you mentioned, the brain is fed by fat. We've had this myth, or we've had this lie promoted for many years that cholesterol is bad. And then we, of course, Big Pharma comes out with anti-cholesterol drugs. And what do we have? More people with Alzheimer's and brain problems and all kinds of health problems. But what we know today, and please look this up for yourself, is that the brain needs fat to be healthy. And that is another, thank you, Admiral. I'm going to go to a break and we're going to come back and take a call, 773-977. You're next after the break. The brain needs fat. We've been having this, no fat, low fat. That's health. No, it's not. That's a lie. We need butter. We need avocados. And we need nuts and nut seed oils, not these safflower and sunflower and canola oils that are ruining our whole digestion and our biology. So we're learning so much in this 2024 and this new age that we're in, the age of Aquarius, that we want to be open-minded when we hear something about a miracle carnivore diet. And I encourage you, if some of you are interested in changing your health, improving your health, that you look into this. There are tons of YouTube videos on carnivore diets, and I'm going to share some of the testimonies in the next hour. And I have a friend who I invited to call in because she was diagnosed about 20 years ago, maybe more, with a tick bite, and then she had all these problems with her health, and they diagnosed her with a disease. And what caused her to get off the steroids and get her health back was going on a carnivore diet, basically, because she got more cholesterol. She needed more cholesterol in her body to go over the steroid prescription. And I hope she can call it. She'll call in, but she usually says her mornings are not the best, but she's doing so much better because she was on a carnivore diet. And I've seen her transition from somebody who could not get out of bed to this vibrant, healthy woman who is just laughing and brimming. Her hair is growing, all this because she went on a carnivore healing diet. And I want to stress healing diet and a therapeutic diet. I don't believe you have to stay on a carnivore diet if you overcome all the health challenges that caused you to go on this diet. But for her right now, that's what's keeping her moving and doing what she can do every day now she's going to be a grandmother soon. So she really has a need to keep her health strong and her body strong and going. And this carnivore diet can be a miracle for people who have tried everything. And then all of a sudden they stop eating all the processed foods, practice discipline, and voila, the body heals. It's a miracle. Well, it's not really a miracle. It's just really biblical truth, discipline. And the Creator says, I set before you life and death, choose life so that you and your seed can live. So what's life? Some of you would say, well, it's dead animals we're eating. Well, yes, but when you're only eating the carnivores and you look at the history of Native Americans, they only ate the bison and they survived. There's some biology and physical scientific proof that eating dead animals is helpful. All right, so chew on that. We'll come back and take your calls and read your comments. after these messages.
I'm Viyahta, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Viyahta. Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
And we are back tomorrow, Saturday, the 24th. And I believe Zelda will be on the Female Solution with her Teen Talent Contest. So if that's not the case, Zelda, I believe it's the 4th Saturday. So join us tomorrow morning or noon, tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time for, I believe the Teen Talent Contest will be on. So let's go to the phones. We're talking about avoiding heart attacks and strokes, and recognizing the miracle carnivore diet as an option for people who have tried everything. And then, hey, let's try the carnivore diet. Let's go get back to basic eating habits that our Native American ancestors practiced. That's all we're doing. Is it the buffalo? I'm still waiting. I'm looking forward to trying, but bison, fermented bison from Peggy Well-Known Buffalo in Montana. That's what her specialty is she uses the bison meat and ferments it and creates like a pickled meat or something. She's amazing. So I want to just, before I go to the phones, I have this flyer that medical offices usually give to help you recognize a heart attack or recognize a stroke. And I thought it's interesting that if you get to this point, you're close to death if you haven't done anything to prevent it. So here's some tips. Recognize a heart attack by remembering chest discomfort, uncomfortable chest pressure, squeezing, fullness, or pain. discomfort in other areas of the upper body, shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, and lightheadedness. If you get to that stage of symptoms in your body, you're close to death. So that's why we're talking about avoiding these symptoms. And then with a stroke, I love how they use the word sudden. It's like it shows up all of a sudden. And if you've been unconscious, this is what happens to you: a sudden numbness or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side. Sudden confusion, trouble speaking or understanding. Sudden trouble seeing. Sudden trouble walking or dizziness. Sudden severe headache. All of a sudden, it's here. Well, Louise Hay gives you prevention wisdom. If you want to prevent a heart attack, it says heart attacks are squeezing all the joy out of the heart in favor of money or position. And to bring back the joy, you have to affirm it. I bring back joy back to the center of my heart. I express love to all. And then strokes, she gives us some advice on what is causing the strokes that people have. A stroke, which is a cerebrovascular accident. When you are building stroke in your body, you're giving up. There's resistance, and you'd rather die than change. And then she says it's a rejection of life. So life is change. I adapt easily to the new. I accept life, past, present, and future. And that will prevent, hopefully, the heart attacks and the stroke. Prevention is better all the time. And experience teaches better than anything. So let me go to the phones and hear from 773-977. Your mic is open. Welcome.
Well, good morning to all. This is Lois here in Chicago, Illinois. It's such a blessing to be alive, to be on this show today. And so I thank all of the sponsors and everyone, but especially I thank God just for being alive. And all of us who've been doing our thing that God has given us to do, who's being obedient, just put it like that. And I was listening to Mr. Nelson. How could a man who's never been employed ever be with such prestigious people in life and run for office and what have you, and pass out food? They said the food is making everybody sick or whatever, so I think whoever's believing it. Now, eating the food, I feel that whatever we're going to eat, what goes in must come out. A lot of people are losing their teeth, and they haven't had their teeth prepared, and they don't chop the food up really well enough to really digest it properly. That's what I believe. But I do know that they claim that I had a heart attack. I was going through so much stress in life. I had a heart. They said I went in for an MRI, and while in the machine, my chest was hurting, and next thing I knew, I'm howling for about 8 minutes, and they rushed me out into the intensive care. This is Ingalls Hospital. They rushed me out of the MRI machine to the intensive care unit. They had things running all in my arms, and then this doctor came to me with this long steel piece of stick rack. He says, "Well, I'm going to have to put this in your heart, and it's going to stop the pain in your chest." And I said, "Oh, no, you can't put that in my heart." He says, "Why not? We're going to take the pain away from you." I said, "Oh, no." I said, "My children don't know where I am, and I don't know what's going on." So anyway, make a long story short, he didn't put the thing in my heart. And so that they wouldn't let me make a phone call to my children because I was in Harvey, Illinois, and they said it would be long distance. This is 2003. My father was going through so much, and they wouldn't let me see my father. I knew I was under stress. So the children come out to the hospital, Delilah and Lorel, and they say, "Oh, Mama, listen, we don't want you to die." And Lorel, she studied to be a doctor, okay? But anyway, "We don't want you to die, Mama. Do what the doctor said. Let them put that in your heart." So when they left, my then boyfriend came in, and I said, "Listen, if you really love me," I said, "I want you to sit here and act like you're talking to me. I'm going to take these tubes out of my arms." I said, "My clothes in that closet, and my car is out in the parking lot." I said, "Just give me a chance to get to 147th street to the expressway and then just get on up. And that's what I did to this day. That was 2003. So these doctors, they're doing all kind of crooked things. God has me alive today, and I never took any radiation. A year later, 2004, I went over to South Shore Hospital and with the heart specialist and took the test and everything else. And you know what he told me? Oh, there's nothing wrong with your heart. So you see, these people are heart hungry out here. They're killing people for hearts. They're selling hearts. We all better be careful, and we better listen. Whatever is not green, we probably shouldn't eat it anyway. So thanks a lot for letting me share all of this, and God bless you all. This is Lois here in Chicago.
Well, I love that how you planned your getaway with the help of your boyfriend. That's so cool. We need that kind of support to get us out of the hospital, because it's a dangerous place to be, unfortunately. I had a friend called me a couple of days ago to pray for a woman's mother who was struggling with cancer. And she said the next day, she called me the next day, and she said they put her back in the hospital and she died. So I was like, well, what kind of cancer? I was asking all these questions. What kind of cancer? Why they put her back in the hospital? Blah, blah, blah. And the bottom line is the hospitals do palliative care. They put all the drugs that they have inside of you, and they hope you make it, and then maybe you don't, because like Lois said, they need those organs for other people. That's the way reality we live in. Your organs are expensive, are valuable, especially to other people. So how about we have more appreciation and put more value on our own organs and protect them, so that we don't have some hospital trying to take us out of here because we didn't take good care of ourselves. So we're talking about avoiding heart attacks, stress, reduce the stress. If you are in a relationship, and I believe my father's life was a big lesson for me, because my father had a heart attack when he was in his, I think it was his 80s, late 80s. And he was the healthiest man I knew. I mean, he was athletic director, physical education instructor at his high school, played football. He was the healthiest man I knew. And his heart attack, I believe, was rooted in a poor relationship with his current spouse at the time. So the stress, especially if you're an empath and you haven't learned how to tap out the stresses in your life, let go of the stresses in your life, then all that stuff accumulates, and then your heart says, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. And that's what I believe happened to my dad. Now, he overcame the heart attack, and we worked together to provide lots of herbal supplements, lots of energy, of love from me, coming from Orlando to Chicago. And he lived to be 95 years old. So he lived at least another 15 years after his heart attack. But once again, if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't respect you, who doesn't love you, who doesn't honor you, and who doesn't value your independence, and on and on and on, whatever it is you need from that person and you're not getting it, that's stress. That's the stress. And then in terms of diet, we are stressing ourselves out with food. We're overeating. This whole standard American diet is a stress factor for the whole country. We should all be on a one meal a day as an adult, and surely as children, we should not be forcing them to eat 3 big meals a day. We need to train our children to eat less and breathe more and be out in nature like we were. We would be out on our bikes all day long, because we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have TV and all the distractions that we have today. So we want to get you back to the wisdom of our Native American ancestors that said, eat one food. Basically, most of the year, eat one food and walk and be nomads and go all over the city and all over and move, roll your joints and all that. So let me go to the phones again. Before I go, I have some more testimonies on the carnivore diet that actually helps you reduce the heart attack, avoid heart attacks and strokes. Again, because you're only eating one food, you're going to reduce the stress on your digestive system. That is my analysis of why carnivore diets are working for people. So 773-483, your mic is open. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Oh, good morning. This is Kofi.
Hey, Kofi. How are you?
I know this. Well, I've always got something interesting to say. I'll just say this first. These people who they call invaders who came over here. Why aren't we forcing them to get fingerprinting and identification?
Who are you? I'm sorry. Who are you talking about? The people who are coming over the border?
Yeah, nobody's forcing them to get fingerprinting or identification. They're paying them to rest here to vote. That's why they bring them here, so they can vote Democratic. That's the whole reason.
And are you saying this? Are you sharing this because it's a stress in your city? Maybe is it becoming a little more stressful in Chicago because you got all those illegals coming over?
No, it's a non-stressing once you understand what's going on.
Okay, what is going on then? And maybe we can reduce the stress for people who are in Chicago, New York, Colorado, all these places that I see.
Well, they knock on people's door, ask for money.
Really?
Yeah, they rang my doorbell several times. In Texas, they run up in people's houses. They have criminal immunity. The only reason they can get arrested is a federal offense. Look at New York. They beat a police officer down because he tried to get him to move off the sidewalk. And they got arrested, and they got out of jail the next day. They can commit crimes and get out of jail. They're not fingerprinted, no identification. They're here for a specific reason.
Yes.
So now that we know that, now that we understand, they're not a boogeyman anymore. Okay? See, things like understanding what goes on around you can de-stress and you don't have any heart attacks or any problems. This is one of my gifts. I always like to know what's going on around me. I always look deeper into things. You know, like they stopped they're going to stop all the governmental phones in April. They're going to cut all these millions of governmental phones off.
And so I'm glad you're expressing your concerns in Chicago and what is probably also going on in other cities as well. But what do you do about it? I'm offering you some solutions.
It's not. That is the solution.
What is
not? I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. I understand what if a tiger is creeping up on you, and you turn and look at that tiger and stand still, that tiger will stop. They're not a boogeyman anymore. They're not a tiger. It's not a concern. I understand who they are, so they don't worry me now. You understand?
Okay.
They don't worry me at all. I understand why the government, all of the Republican governors sent troops down to the border to stop them from coming in over flooding. Okay? We understand who they are and why they are admitting these people here in the government in America to take over the cities so they can vote Democrat this election with no fingerprinting, no identification. We understand their purpose. That's not a concern. That's an understanding of why they're here.
That's
Well,
it.
I think it's a concern because you're talking about it. You wouldn't have called in if you weren't concerned about
No,
it.
I wanted other people to know
Okay.
that Koofy knows that you need to know that. And I
Okay.
tell people when they go, "Oh, that's what it is." I go, "Yeah, it is the same thing back with the Spanish flu back in 1918. They allowed immigrants in as well. So
Mhm.
COVID and the Spanish flu were all a diversion to bring immigrants into the country. Hello,
Mhm.
bam, it's on YouTube. Spanish flu, 1918, 1928, same thing.
Okay. All right.
You run, okay.
So
So this is something that people don't think about. This gives you peace. This gives you understanding, so you don't have a heart attack. So you're not worried. People need to know. It really helps people to know. Okay, now I know why these people are here. Now I know what's going on. Oh, so now I can function. Now I can get along. They come in here. They want to interbreed with us, have babies with us, rob our birthright. Oh, now I know. Now I know that why people are trying to divide the black man and the black woman. Oh, now I know. So they can marry us. Oh, now I know. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep my black brothers and sisters together. They try to divide us through all of this. That's the only thing on the internet. Everybody's talking about black relationships. They're not talking about white relationships or European relationships or China. They're talking about black relationships to divide us so they can get access to us. Oh, now I know. So now I'm going to bring back this black love. If I have anybody say, get out your black relationship, they are the enemy.
okay,
We're
Koofy.
saving black love.
All right,
We're
Koofy.
saving black love.
All right.
Okay, we're saving black love at the end of the day.
All right, Koofy.
That's love.
We hear you. Thank you. I want to keep moving here. Thank you. Thank you, Koofy, for expressing your knowledge and lack of concern about it. Because you know now, you understand what's going on. It's always a rabbit hole these days when we have issues like that all over the country, people concerned about it. So we could go down the rabbit hole and talk about the deeper purpose of allowing and what many call an invasion of our country. We are being invaded by refugees from countries that the United States government has interfered with politically and otherwise to change their government for the worse, it seems. So we can look at all the stresses around this. And even if you don't think it's stressful, for some people it is stressful. So the key is to take a deep breath every day. Deep breath every day, do your joint rolling, and step out of your bed with a purpose in mind. What is my job today to bring more peace, more calm, and more light to this darkness that is here? War everywhere, war within cities, people killing each other. And the idea that, and some, I might offend some people with this, but the idea that we're going to have unity in the Black community is a false idea. Okay, let's rethink that. There was a video on YouTube where a guy was talking about he went to heaven. A comedian went to heaven, and the creator asked him, well, why wasn't there more unity in the Black community? And somebody thought that was funny and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because we're in the age of Aquarius, and we shouldn't even be talking about black and white. We should be talking about consciousness, in my opinion. We don't care what color you are. We want to see consciousness in your brain, not insanity. A lot of what is going on in the streets of Chicago, New York, or any big city is insanity. People killing each other, boom, 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 and then doing drugs, boom, 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 and zombies everywhere. In Philadelphia, you've got a city that has more drug addicts in it than in the whole country. Now, how did they find that out? Well, somebody's keeping track of this insanity. So it's up to you and I individually to say, No more. Not it stops. The buck stops here with me. I'm going to shine my light in this darkness, and I'm going to walk every day in a way that penetrates the darkness. And that if you don't have concern about the invasion that's going on, good for you. Good for you. Because when someone confronts you in the streets who doesn't speak your language and they want your money, or in the case of New York, they're going to beat up the police, have that, be in peace. That's all we want you to do, be in peace. And some people may have to leave the city to get out of that chaos. But I'm just suggesting number one goal for all of us listening here today is to shine your light, do your deep breathing every day, and prepare for whatever is about to happen, which may be more cyber attacks, might be more cell phones going down. It's important, if you're going to avoid the heart attacks, the stress, the disease, to maintain the calm and peace, so that it will spread out throughout the globe, and even starting in your, how about just spread in your community? This dog that barks here every day, I just keep sending love to this dog, and asking the angels to help that dog, because that dog's in stress for some reason. A dog barking all for like 30 minutes straight is in stress. You don't know why, but it's like, okay, just send love to the dog. Somebody help the dog be calm. And I'm hearing this, but that's what we're hearing all over the world is stress. And there's a dog barking. Kids are barking in Palestine, people barking in Palestine and in the Gaza. And what do? Starts here. Peace and calm right here, right now. So let me take a last break here. And when we come back, I just want you to hear some of the testimonies of people who've been on these carnivore diets. And so if you don't believe what you've heard so far, that it really is somewhat of a miracle if you can reduce the food that you're eating and concentrate on one food that can give you what the doctor shared earlier of the vitamin C, can give you the fiber, give you the nutrients, give you what you need to heal the body, for one, and then give you the energy that gives the brain fat. More fat in your diet will feed your brain. So we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Viyahta, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Viyahta.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Have you ever dreamed of going to exotic places
meeting fascinating people, enjoying uplifting music, and spending nights in a luxurious hotel. Do you look forward to a relaxing vacation where you can walk along the beach or sit in a quiet park and enjoy the sunset or sunrise? Whether you're flying around the world or driving across the country, we will share travel tips that will help you stay safe while you enjoy the journey. Join me every third Saturday of the month, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and move around with Deborah here on the Female Solutions Show. Call in and comment 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak.
And we're back. Thank you for this last half hour of Miracle Carnivore Diet. Anyone interested? And avoiding heart attacks and strokes. Key to avoid heart attacks and strokes is consciousness. Am I stressed about my life? Am I stressed about my situation? What am I going to do about it? Number one, breathe. Once you are aware and conscious that you're in a stressful life, stressful environment, the key is deep breathing, and more deep breathing, and get out into nature, get to the beach, spend more time outdoors, spend more time reading and studying about your lifestyle, how you can change it, psychology of adjustments. That's what I practice every day. Look at your life, your environment, and ask yourself, is this what I need? Is this what I want? Is this going to help me stay healthy and strong and prevent heart attacks and strokes that are all due to stress? Too much stress in the diet, too much stress in your environment, internal and external. And our Monday morning host, Zelda, says, Philadelphia is a test city for dehumanization, to pit people against each other, judgment from those watching, open hearts people, not judgment. And we take a deep breath on that thought. Observing without judgment. Observing without judgment. That's what keeps us in peace. Because we have situations all around us in every city that could make you cry if you are taking it in on a third dimensional level, instead of overstanding what's the divine purpose for all this? What's the divine purpose for all this homelessness? What's the divine purpose for this war and for the stress that we see people experiencing? Well, I think it's just waking us up to the reality that we don't want to live like this anymore. And we have to make a change, which means courage to speak up against the wrongs that we see, against the unhealthy things going on in our society. We need to speak up. That means talking to your congresspeople, your senators, your mayors, everybody who's leading this chaos and insanity. We have to be more vocal, I believe, about what we see is not in harmony with the Creator's love and compassion. So as we close out this show, I want to just share with you, if you are interested in a carnivore diet, you can go to YouTube and view hundreds, I'm telling you, hundreds of people have put up videos about their experience with this diet. And so far, most of them are very positive and helpful if you are interested in starting this type of diet. Here's one about what recipe, it's kind of a recipe. Well, if you're going to go on it, well, what do you actually eat? So here's one that talks about recipes.
On this month's edition of Eat Here With Me, I am taking you on an all-meat journey. That's right, I tried the carnivore diet, but I made the mistake of doing this like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so once Thanksgiving rolled around, I stopped. So I'm definitely going back to it after the holidays because I loved it. I actually dropped like 10 pounds in 2 weeks and felt amazing. So if you want some meal ideas on how you can eat on the carnivore diet, then keep watching. So up first is classic steak and eggs for breakfast. So I like ribeye steaks, mostly because they're filled with fat and they're so filling and so delicious. Any type you got is good. Choice, prime, grass-fed, not grass-fed. I don't care because they're kind of expensive, right? So basically, I like to grill my ribeyes on the grill. I even grill even when it's wintertime outside. But you want to season your steak at least like a day ahead of time for best flavor, but you can obviously season it, a few hours before too. And I like to still season it with salt and pepper. Some people can't tolerate pepper, and so you can leave that out if you don't want to, but definitely I have to have salt and pepper on mine for some flavor. And this is a great breakfast option for you if you need to have breakfast in the mornings. I found that as I continued on with this way of eating that I was not hungry in the morning whatsoever. So I actually just ate 2 meals a day. It was mostly lunch and dinner. But there's my steak on the grill. Don't judge me by the burnt appearance. I only know how to grill with one temperature, and that's at 500 degrees. I like to burn everything. I don't know. I like the taste of charcoal and cancer, I guess. And for my eggs, I'm using duck eggs. These are duck eggs that I found at a local farmer's market grocery store that we have. I like them because the yolk is humongous, and the egg is a little bit bigger compared to a chicken egg. So, I have these pasture-raised chicken eggs in the back. You can see they're a little bit bigger, but the yolk is humongous. And so when you prepare your eggs, keep in mind, because we're doing carnivore, you need to use butter rather than like an avocado oil or olive oil, just because those are more vegetable-based, if you're staying true to the diet. But there's my duck egg. You can see how huge the yolk is compared to the white. So lots of fatty goodness in there. But you can definitely use chicken eggs too. And then there's my ribeye steak. It's so delicious. See, even though I burned the hell out of the outside, the inside is perfect. And this was delicious. Up next is salmon in the air fryer. You can bake your salmon in the oven or in the grill too, but I like to utilize my air fryer just because I feel like it cooks it a lot faster. And this is the air fryer I use. It's a Philip one. I don't know what model number it is. But basically, we want to preheat the air fryer at the lowest heat and for about 5 minutes. I don't know why I just read somewhere that that's what you should do. But in our air fryer basket, we're going to lay down some parchment paper. And this is key because you don't want the skin sticking to the middle grate. And then we'll pop it in the air fryer and cook it at 390 for about 7 minutes. The great thing about the air fryer is that you can pull it out at any time just to check and see how it's cooking. And there we go. That's our perfectly baked or grilled or fried. I guess it's fried, right? Fried salmon. It's perfect. And even though it looks like there's a little bit of white coming up on top inside, it was nice and pink and delicious and still flaky. Love salmon. Up next is a crock pot roast. This is a chuck roast that I picked up. This one happens to be grass-fed. I love this recipe because it's something that you can just put in either the night before or the morning of, and you got dinner when you get home from work. And all you do is put in the roast. That's it. You put in the roast, season it with some salt and pepper, and turn it on. Turn it on low for at least 5 to 8 hours or so. But you don't even have to add any sort of fluid to this at all because it's going to make its own au jus fluid just from all the fat and juices that come off the meat. And so there we go. This is 5 or 6 hours later. It's just perfect. Has that wonderful broth that you can just spoon on. It's so tasty. And for those of you that are concerned about gluconeogenesis and too much protein on this diet, I actually tested my blood ketones every day, and I was still in ketosis. I was anywhere from 0.8 to 1 millimolars on ketones on this diet. So still a ketogenic diet. And the great thing is that I was not hungry. Protein sustains you throughout the day. And so it's really easy to only eat 1 or 2 meals a day on this diet. If you guys want to see more videos on the carnivore diet in the future, just let me know down in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel.
So I want to keep going with some testimonies, and this next one is someone who was in a wheelchair, and they had 300 days only on a carnivore diet.
I've lost 100 pounds in the last 10 months on the carnivore diet, and it completely changed my life. So one thing about the carnivore diet is that it melted fat off my body, and I lost a total of about 42 inches. I'm coming upstairs to show you what that actually looks like. It's pretty crazy.
He is being super humble because he finally posted some before and after pictures on his Facebook page, and one of his friends literally said, "I am so glad that this has your name on it because I wouldn't have recognized you." So I have our previous measurements right here. So your chest was 51 inches. Can you show us where that was?
Yep, right there.
Y'all, look at that. In 10 months, that is 13 inches off your chest.
Yeah, crazy.
That's awesome. His belly was 57 inches. Mind you, our tape measure only goes up to 60. So this is crazy. Look at that. That's where his belly stuck out to, y'all.
Yeah.
So that was 19 inches lost in his belly. And then your previous hip measurement was 49 and a half. Y'all, 10 months of carnivore. How many pant sizes have you had to go through? That's
A lot. I started at a 42, now I'm down to a 32.
That's crazy. How have you been? Good job. All right, so you have obviously experienced some amazing benefits of the carnivore diet, but I think what most people are probably wondering is what exactly were you eating? We know that the carnivore diet is an all animal-based diet, but there are still quite a lot of different variations on what types of animal products you are eating. So what was successful for you?
Right, so 90% of the time, what I was eating is I usually would fast breakfast. So I wouldn't eat breakfast. I'd usually have black coffee, maybe some heavy whipping cream in it. And then for lunch, every day, I'd have 6 scrambled eggs. And then for dinner, I usually have about 16 to 18 ounce steak, whether it was ribeye or New York strip. Then on dinners, when I ran out of steak, I would have about a pound of burgers, so ground beef. And that's pretty much it. If I felt like something different, I would have chicken or pork or bacon or shrimp or something like that. But usually it was just steak and eggs.
I feel like this is why he never, ever did like a what I eat in a day video, because it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
Here's my breakfast, those 6 eggs. Here's my steak. Oh no, I ran out of steak. I'm going to have a pound of burger patty.
So when you're on a strict elimination diet, it gets very monotonous. So what I eat in a day is boring.
Works for you.
Yep, it definitely works for me.
If you think carnivore might be for you, make sure to keep watching until the end of the video, because Patrick and I are going to be sharing how we transitioned into a carnivore lifestyle, as well as our top 5 tips for starting carnivore and staying carnivore. All right, let's get back to how carnivore completely changed Patrick's life.
So as you can see, I lost a lot of inches and a lot of weight. Now I still have about 15 to 20 more pounds left till I hit my goal. But the difference between then and now is insane. Before, I would come home from work and have no energy to do anything, and I'd just sit on the couch and be tired and zonked out. But now I come home and I'm able to throw around my 2-year-old son on the couch and swing him upside down and play trucks and trains and all the fun stuff he likes to do, and still have energy left over for my family. And also with that increased energy, I also have increased motivation. I used to not have the motivation or the energy to really get things done that need to get done, whether it's around the house or whether it's in the yard, mowing the grass, whatever it is. But now I have the extra energy and a better headspace to be able to get those things done. And I want to get those things done. Before carnivore, I used to have terrible sleep. I would snore so bad it would rattle the walls.
I had to leave. I had to sleep on the couch. Our marriage was in trouble.
So I would snore like crazy. I woke up several times throughout the night. I'd wake up in the morning. Even if I had 10 hours of sleep, I'd wake up just not wanting to get out of bed. I'd be sore and stiff. My ankles and my back and my knees would hurt, and I'd just be miserable. And now I no longer snore. I don't wake up as frequently in the night, and I just have better quality of sleep. I wake up feeling refreshed and energized and ready to start the day. I'm not in pain anymore, and it's changed my life. Before, when I weighed over 300 pounds, I would struggle to perform my job. I would get winded climbing a flight of stairs or a ladder. I'd be too big to fit in tight spaces. And now I can climb about 4 or 5 flights of stairs before I ever get winded. Climb ladders a whole lot easier, and I can fit in tighter spaces a lot easier. So I'm able to actually perform my job a whole lot better than I used to. So that was the physical changes I saw. There was also a lot of mental changes as well. Before, I would suffer with brain fog. Couldn't get thoughts from my head to my mouth as quickly or as easily. But now it's a lot more sharp and clear. Things come out like they're supposed to come out. But also, I suffered with some depression, and I just felt like I was a prisoner in my own body because I was so big and heavy and unhealthy. It was holding me back from doing the things I wanted to do.
My first 2 weeks on the carnivore diet were absolutely awful. I'm going to explain to you why and how you can avoid making the same mistakes that I made. Back in December of 2022, I started the carnivore diet. I've been doing it for 7 months now, and I've lost 100 pounds. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The first 2 weeks were awful. I just thought, okay, go eat meat, and you'll get fit, you'll lose weight, you'll be able to feel better, like everybody else says. Well, that wasn't the case. That first day, I went to the grocery store, bought some ground beef, bought a couple steaks, and I threw everything else out in the fridge. Said, I'm committing to this. I'm going to do this. My first meal was like 11:30. Had about probably 3/4 to a pound of ground beef. Ate it like nothing. Went on with my day. No problem. Cool. Later on that evening, I think I had a New York strip. Went, cut it up, ate it. Cool. But when it was time to go to bed, my body was saying, "Hey, we're missing something from today. You didn't give me everything that I'm used to, carbs." And I actually had a really hard time going to sleep because my body was saying, feed me, I'm hungry. I had a really, really, really hard time going to sleep. I finally got to bed like 2:30 in the morning, woke up around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and the only thing that I could think of was food. But I have a farm to run, need to get outside, and animals eat before I do. I figured that as long as I got my day going, that this hunger feeling would pass. Well, got everything done, came back inside, and I was hungry, but I didn't want meat. I was like, oh, it didn't sound very good, but I forced myself to eat like another half a pound of ground beef, and I went back to bed. It was probably, noon, and I laid down, got on YouTube, and I didn't have any energy to get up and do anything. Like, the only thing I could think of.
So that last testimony you will find very rarely, but this guy went through 2 weeks of really awful symptoms. And then after the 2 weeks, his body started to feel better and he lost weight and everything changed. So this is a typical reaction to your body when you start a new health or diet plan, whether it's fasting or changing from vegetarian to carnivore or all carnivore. Your body goes through an adjustment. So if you are considering a carnivore diet to lose weight or improve your health, then you need to do it slowly. I'm not a doctor, and this show is not intended to replace any advice you are receiving from your doctor. So if you really are serious about it and you do have a naturopathic doctor or someone you trust, and ask for their advice. Or, like so many people do, go to YouTube and look at all the lessons and training that people offer because they've been through it. For one person, 6 years they've been on this diet, and they can offer what happened to them, but it may not be the same for you. So proceed cautiously. If this is something you're thinking about, you've had trouble losing weight, this might be the solution for you, or the answer for you, is to try bringing more fat into your diet in the way of avocados, butter, and meat, animal products. Those are the things your body are missing from years and years of misinformation about how to keep this body healthy and strong. And then, of course, on the end of the spectrum, if you're like Tom Elamine, my favorite solitarian breatharian, you don't need anything. You just go outside and absorb all the nourishment from the sun, the trees, the grass, the water, the sand, the beach. Oh, so much nourishment. You're not even hungry. If your mind is consciously focusing on absorbing everything in nature, you're going to reduce the amount of food, man's food, nature's food that you eat, and you're going to breathe in nourishment from the the universal energy of love that is given to us in the way of
60
trees,
seconds.
sun, and all that nature gives us. So anyway, this is I hope this has been helpful for you to decide if you want to shift to something like this. Again, do your research first and start slowly. If this is something you're considering, start slowly and then watch the benefits that show up. The risk, I hope you've seen, the risks are very minimal on going to a carnivore diet, but you're going to experience a transitional shock in your body if you decide to do this and you've been, say, a vegetarian all your life or something like that. So share this with others who might be struggling. And again, use YouTube for your education. I do it all the time. And so I'll be back on Sunday night. I have
10 seconds.
special guest on Sunday night is going to tell us about her healing ministry that she's been in for the last 10, 15 years that has just blown her mind, and it's going to blow your mind as well. So everybody have a beautiful day. I'm going to the beach again because I'm here and near the beach, 15 minutes away. Might as well enjoy the negative ions. And wherever you are, get out and enjoy the sun. Please go out and breathe in the nourishment that the sun gives all of us equally. So have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Female Solution with the Teen Talent Contest. Hallelujah.
We've come to the end of our show today, but you can hear every show in the archives at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page. Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you.
Thank you.
To our family in China, Sheshe, India,
Zanyaba.
Japan, Arigato,
Arigato.
Korea, Kamsamnida,
Kamsamida.
Russia, Spasiba,
Spasiba.
Germany, Danke,
Donkey.
Poland, Jean-Cugnon,
Jonquignon.
France, Merci,
Merci beaucoup.
Spain, Gracias,
Gracias.
Italy, Grazie,
Grazie.
Egypt, Shukran,
Shukran.
Ghana, Madasi,
Madasi.
Nigeria, Eshe,
Eshe.
South Africa, Gabon,
Iyabonga.
Senegal, Geret,
Geret.
Kenya, Asante,
Asante.
Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya,
Shukriyan.
Afghanistan, Tashakur,
Tashakur.
Saudi Arabia, Shukran,
Shukran.
Assalam alaikum wa
Assalam
rahmatullahi wa
alaikum.
barakatuh.
And to all my yogi friends out there, Satnam and Namaste. And aloha, aloha to all my Hawaiian friends. Stand strong, Maui, Lahaina. We're with you in prayer. So have a wonderful day. And we'll see you again